Developed and released by Taito in 1996, Raystorm was the second in the Ray series of games, which were known as Layer Selection on the Saturn or even Galactic Attack in the West. Set hundreds of years in the future on planet Earth, you need to take down enemy ships and vehicles to prevent the forces of Cecilia Federation, a rebellious group of colonies, from destroying the planet. In this arcade release, you can choose between one of two ships. Each ship is equipped with a bog standard shot as well as a special laser lock-on for taking out enemies below you over the 8 action-packed stages. In addition to the basic weapons, each ship has 2 special maneuvers. The special attack is initiated when the player fills up a bar to the maximum by engaging in multiple lock-ons. When full, the player can unleash a massive screen-wide attack with a brief period of invincibility afterwards. The second, the Hyperlaser Assault, executes a special attack unique to each ship, and is performed by setting all available lock-on attacks on a single target and firing. The original arcade game ran on the Sony ZN-1 Jammer board, which is basically a slightly beefed up PlayStation with much more RAM depending upon the game. So it comes as no surprise that the PlayStation game is pretty much the same as the arcade version. However, it's not as good in the looks department due to the good old PlayStation polygon warping, which is noticeable.
August 4th.
On the good side, however, the PlayStation port features 2 soundtracks, the original and an arranged Tans mix. It also has some extra options upon completing the game, such as the 13 ship mode and a shooting down rate counter, which is enabled as default in the Saturn port.
August 4th, 2219, Albion DU, Earth.
The Windows port is basically the PlayStation game, but now with cleaner textures. The warp and polygons are still there, mind you. There's not much else to say about it really, apart from it doesn't run too well on modern PCs. As you can see, the game has quite a few graphical glitches in this video. Poor Saturn. After stunning the world with its amazing arcade perfect port of the first game, now it has to try and run the full 3D remake. Sadly, this game suffers on the Saturn. The entire game runs in a square box. It also runs slower at times due to the erratic frame rates. They're nothing game breaking, but they're there. Then we have the case of the transparencies. The Saturn could have handled the simple triangular power-ups, but since this game was ported by Tose, who have an on and off reputation, we've been given horrible mesh rather than transparencies. It's not too bad, but it doesn't look anywhere near as nice as you'd expect. Overall, the Saturn port is playable, but just not as good. Rougher textures, slower speed, and muffled audio. But wait! It does have one extra ship over the PlayStation and arcade releases, and FM cutscenes! Not that they really make the game much better, to be honest. People were quite upset with the HD remake, and it's easy to see why. Rather than making a whole new game engine, they've basically taken the old one and stretched it from a 4:3 ratio into a 16:9 ratio. This makes everything look squashed and, quite frankly, awful. Now, many may think I'm being picky and too hard, but I'm not the only one, and I'm sure many will agree. Not only does the game look squashed, but the playing area feels more narrow, greatly changing the way the game plays. This is not the version I wanted, and I'm sure many other people didn't want this version either. Still, there are some bonus points. This version features the Tanz mix tracks found on the PlayStation version. It also has an original mode, which isn't that special really. Basically it's just a color palette edit. Then there's the 13 ship mode, which again is nothing too special. It's just the normal game but limited to 13 lives. And let's take a look at all those versions of Raystorm running side by side.